Hi all, it's Kylie from Kylie's Cardcraft. Thanks for joining me again today. Now, in my last video, which was from our So You're Going to Make a Journal series, I mentioned about the paper bags. I've decorated one up that I'd purchased. And I said that I make them up all the time. Should have a video, can't find the video. So thank you, Louise. Contacted me and said she couldn't find it. I couldn't find it either, so here we go. Here's a very quick one on the paper bags that I make up. They are so easy. It means that you can get any size you want. So these are just some of the ones that I have sitting here waiting to go. Some of them I've already decorated. Some of them, like this one, I've put an end to, which more or less turns it into an envelope. Some are scrapbook paper. So they're literally my scraps. These ones are stamping catalogue. Full sheet. Okay. And book page. You know how I love to try and get rid of my book page. So very quickly, I will show you how I make these. So this is just a piece of copy paper. Okay, so I've just got a couple of scraps here because you can just do it with your scraps. So, straight piece of copy paper. It could be coffee dyed, whatever. All I do is I'll sit these over and I'll fold this one onto this one so that I've got a little bit of a seam allowance. When we're working in soft papers like these, you can just do it this way. And I'll put that somewhere in the centre, okay? And then I'll just flatten that out, just like that. All right, that's it. So what I do from there is I score 1/2 inch. I always do mine the same, so 1/2 inch down from the bottom. So with a scoreboard, I'll just sit that onto wherever. As long as I've got a side straight, it's sitting there 1/2 inch. Okay. And then all we'll do is I will chop these little pieces out. So this section and this section. So I still have my centerpiece where the score line is. I'll just find my big scissors. I find it's just easier to use the scissors. So straight up there to the score line. And I tend to go, when you score, I don't know if you can see this. When you use the score, it's because it's an indentation, you've more or less got quite an area that you can cut. I will cut on the top section of it. Just means that they're all then very nicely tucked away. Sorry, back. My alarm went off, had to fix it up. So all I've done is cut this off. Right, so exactly the same on the other side. There, top side of the score line. And down. So now what we've got, this you can now see if you've cut straight. And so that when this folds up, you need to retrim them. These ones are fine, which is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for me because it doesn't normally happen. That's going to fold up there. In essence, that's your paper bag. Now, what I'm going to do first of all, though, is I'm going to glue this section. Now, I find it's easier, and I just use my glue stick. Just make a mark a little bit in from where this line comes. Okay, so that now I've got a line which I know is going to be marked. It's all right, looking for my view book. Right, and then I will use my scrap. You've all seen me use my scraps before. I will sit that down on there against those lines. Okay, and then I've got a straight line straight up there, ready to adhere that piece onto that piece. That's it. Now, this one, your little flap up here, I like to round my corners. It makes them look a little bit more, I don't know, purchased. So just tuck him in. And now I've got rounded corners on the bottom, just like a wheel bag. So, once again, back to this one. Open that out. Sit that down on that. Glue up your tab. Get it out of the way before you put it everywhere. And like that. Now, you can finish these bags off any way you like. So that's with just normal copy paper, as I said before. Tracing paper. These ones are done with tracing paper or baking paper. And they come out beautiful. But let's say we want it like a real bag. I have good old-fashioned pinking shears from my sewing days. Any of your... any of your decal edge scissors or anything like that, those sorts of things will work a treat. And it's just a matter of trimming off the top. You can trim straight if you want, or not if you may. Straight across. So now I've got an end like a bag. Right, quickly, one other time. We'll do it once more. Move that to the side. And this time we'll do it in scrapbook paper. Great way to use up your scraps. So this is just a piece of scrapbook paper. I'd say it's about 6 inches. 5.5 inches. There you go. 5.5 inches by 7 inches. Okay. So this one's going to be done the same, but because it's scrapbook paper, it's a little bit heavier weight. So when I'm doing this one, I tend to, because last time we just did this, I could work it out. It's a little bit harder with the scrapbook paper. So it was 7 inches, so 3.5. That is my centre point. Okay? So that will be the mid centre point of the front of my. So I'm just going to fold it over to about there. Line it up top and bottom. Give it a crease down. And then I've just gone just past that centre point. Okay. Now I'll do the same with this one and just past that centre point. Okay, so there's my centre point in there again. So I've gone just past it with this side, just past it with that side. So I've got that centre line crease, fold. Okay, so give that nice crease down. And once again, we'll score a 1/2 inch through there. We'll just sit it on anywhere. Am I in shot? Yes. And through there. There we go. Give it 2 lots because it's scrapbook paper, which is, a little bit thicker. Okay, so once again, we'll do the same. Chop there, chop above the score line on that one. Same thing on this side. And above the score line on this side. Quite above for that one. That's all right. We're then going to fold this one. So I'm just going to sit my fingernails in there. Give him a good crease. And Let's see how we went with our cutting. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. So exactly the same thing we'll do. So a little bit in from that one. A little bit in from that one. Just saves having to rub pencil lines out. You could mark it directly where it is, but then you're going to have to try and get rid of your pencil line down there. That's why I'm just a little bit in. And that's just pure laziness on my behalf. That's all. So if I sit this in here, change that side round. So there to there. All right. Move that before I sit it on there. It's always better if it's flat. Don't get wobbles in your paper if it's flat. We'll round our corners again. Like so. Glue this bit. Fold him over. Oh, sorry, that was my scoreboard sitting out. Right, how easy was that? And doesn't that paper look beautiful? One other thing I'd like with this one then would be the finger hole. So sometimes I do my pinking shears. Sometimes I do the finger hole. Sometimes I leave them straight. Sometimes, as I said, I put a flap on them. If I'm putting a flap on them, it's just more or less the same as the other side. You leave that centre bit higher and chop out your side bits. That's all it is. Exactly. That's exactly all it is. Right. So this will be round about 3.5. Which is what? 175. It's about there. Is my centre point for this one. Looking for a punch. There it is. I always like to use my oval punches. Pop that in. Let's see how my muscles are for this time of the day, because it's early morning. I couldn't sleep. That's why my alarm was going off before. There you go. Right. How cute are they? Now, actually, my other scrapbook one that I've got here, I'll just give you this information before I run away. Which one? These are just ones that I have sitting done up. This one. From memory, let's have a look. Yes, okay. This one has a piece of washi on it. Okay, so I've gone a step further with this one. Most of the times they're just sitting there ready to use. This one has gone a little bit further because, just shows if you muck up, you can fix it. This one was being folded and I folded it at the wrong spot. So there is a rather large crease line down there. So when I started to fold it, I folded one side and then went to fold my other side and realised that I was way out of whack. I'm not chucking anything away. This is me. I hoard. So I refolded it, which was fine, but I had a slight crease line down here. A little bit of washi tape on that, and it's changed that completely. So you cannot see that that was a muck-up to start with. So don't fret if you fold wrong, but play with your copy paper, play with all sorts of papers that you've got here. As I said before, I do all types of paper. So they're the boring ones. That one's tracing paper, as I said. That's just book paper. I like this version over the, here's a long piece. Over that type version to make the bags, because if I'm using directional paper, I end up with something going the wrong way. And you know me and that. So this way, I've always got, if I'm using, as I said before, directional paper, they're going the right way. So, as I said, stamp catalogues. I love stamp catalogues for these because they're in such soft papers. The papers are thin and all the rest. So, beautiful thin papers just work a treat. So, there's normal book paper. You can feel that it's heavier weight and all the rest. And that's the little stamp catalogue papers. Copy paper again. Now, this is, I don't know what this is. It was a drawing paper that my daughter had that I coffee dyed. Now, which is fine, normal coffee dye. But when you coffee dye it and bake it, one side of it is coated, but it gets this amazing look. Okay? So, I usually use it for all sorts of different bits. Hang on, I think I've got some up here. Sits above me. Right. This is it. So one side is matte. The other side curls in on itself and all the rest. I just cut that when I'm doing paper bags with it. I'll just cut that so that it's straight. And, you know, you get the most amazing paper bags. This one, of course, is just the good old craft paper roll. And I will do it so that the glossy side for these ones is on the inside. So it looks like a lunch bag. You can do these, so, you know, different heights and all the rest, depending on the size of your roll. That is the full size of my roll, just folded. So just cut a section off and just fold it. I can't get it wider. But deli paper, A3 paper, you can get wider bags if you want. I use them for everything. Hang on a moment. Twiddle your thumbs. Twiddle your thumbs. Because the only journal I've got sitting here is sitting behind me. All right, so this is my current ladies' journal that I'm working on. And I will have them in here. Not that signature. Hang on a moment, hang on. Right. Paper bag. Now, this one's been a purchased paper bag because I've had one to hand. So, if I find that I get one in, it sits on my desk and I've used it within a week. That's why I have my other ones there. But I will fold a section, right, to make a signature. The rest of my signature goes in there, which means I've got design here. I've got a little pocket up there. And you get to the other side, you've got a pocket. And then, no pocket on this one. Quite often, yes, I have, look. And then I've got another pocket there. I use these sorts of things with paper bags all the time. Love them. So, sorry, I had to sneeze, sorry. So, yeah, so I love paper bags just as much as my envelopes. And you can see why. Because I can pick up a piece of paper, book paper, scrapbook paper, anything you like. And I can make out of that either an envelope or a paper bag. Hope that's helped. Hope it's been informative enough that you can just turn around now and make your own paper bags, just like that. Have them as on stash, ready to go whenever you're crafting. Thanks for that, guys. See you in a day or two. Bye.